This just might be the best bacon recipe. Not only can you make this in about an hour time on your barbecue, it also tastes so delicious.
Big thanks to Napoleon Grills for sponsoring this episode.
Making bacon is like baking an apple pie. It is a staple thing that everybody loves. You can have it during breakfast, you can have it during lunch, you can just eat this whenever you like. I'm going to give you a version out of the Netherlands that people go absolutely crazy for. And the first thing that you need to do is select the pork belly that you're going to use for your bacon. Now, I selected a beautiful lean cut of meat. So it means that we got loads of meat and a little bit of fat. And once you selected the beautiful piece, we come to the first hack. Because normally it takes 7 days to cure bacon. Now I love that process, but I can also do it in a faster way. Where you would normally dry brine bacon and then let it sit in the fridge for 7 days, flipping it around every day, I'm now taking half a liter of water and I'm going to brine the bacon with salt. Now, a normal brine is 50 grams of salt to a liter of water. I'm going to double it up because bacon needs to be salty. That means I'm going to take half a liter of water with 50 grams of salt. I'm going to stir the water until the salt dissolves. I'm not going to heat it up. I'm not going to warm up the water because I need it to be cold before I inject it. That's right, I'm going to take a syringe and I'm going to inject the meat with the salt water brine. And the rule here is to just inject as much as you can get in. During the cooking process, most of that water will disappear again, leaving behind the salt in all the right places. Once all the brine is injected into the bacon, I'm going to let it sit for 5 minutes so that the brine gets a chance to move around the meat and spread out, making sure that we get a nice salty bacon throughout the piece of pork belly. Then I'm going to take a piece of paper towel and get that pork belly dried up on the outside, because the only place I need that salt to be is on the inside, because I have something special for on the outside of this bacon. I'm going to put on some ketchup manis, which is Indonesian for sweet soy sauce, and this is one of the most popular brands because of its sweetness and its well fermented flavor. I'm going to brush that on. It's super sticky. You can see how thick this is and sticky it is. I'm just going to need a thin layer on the outside. I'm just going to need a thin layer of this. Now you can see that this bacon is definitely going to be special because the salt is on the inside and the sweetness is on the outside, where normally the sugar of the bacon goes with the brine. The next thing that I'm going to do is apply an all-season barbecue rub. In this case, I'm going to use the PITMASTERX deli seasoning, and deli stands for delicacy. It's a good all-purpose barbecue seasoning. And of course you can use your favorite one, but this one just works so well with pork belly. And I want to get on a nice thick layer. It's got to soak up all of that sweet soy sauce, aka ketchup manis, and form a beautiful crust. Once that's done, flip it around, season the other side, and once it's all seasoned up, I'm going to let it sit for about 10 minutes while we fire up the barbecue. I'm going to place in 2 bricks to create a direct and an indirect zone. I'm going to put in a handful of charcoal on one side, take a fire starter, stick it in with the charcoal and light it up. And then I'm going to add these super long burning coconut briquettes. They burn really long and stable, but they need a little bit extra to get started up. That's why I'm using the charcoal. Once the charcoal's lit, I'm going to add a chunk of smoke wood, and in this case I'll be using some delightful cherry. Put the grill grits on, put the bacon on, close the lid, shut down the bottom vent to number 2 and just set the top vent all the way open until you get a stable temperature of around 120 degrees Celsius, which is 240 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. And it is done. We got a core temperature of 65 degrees Celsius, and that is what I'm looking for. We don't need to go any further. We don't need to have pulled pork out of this pork belly because I still want to be able to slice it up and fry it in a pan. I'll take it off the grill and look at that. That is a masterpiece. I'm gonna get that thermometer out. It's always a good idea to have a thermometer in so you know exactly what's happening in your barbecue and with the core temperature of the meat. I wish you could smell the bacon. It looks really good and you could slice into it right away, but I prefer to wait a little bit. Let it rest, cool down a little bit. So I'm gonna do that again on this rack so it gets maximum airflow throughout the piece of meat. I got one more recommendation, and that is you cut this up in half. Because my assumption is that you are not going to eat the whole thing at once. because this doesn't have nitrate salt and you can therefore keep it as long as you can normally store bacon. And that is the only downside to this recipe, because the rest is just all upside. Let me first cut a straight edge. Oh, that is juicy. Wow, that is good. We got a nice smoke ring. Oh, that looks so good. It's beautiful. It's a work of art, but I need to try this. Oh man, the flavor is so powerful. I'm gonna recommend you to try this recipe. It's so fast to make and it's so tasty. Well, honestly, if you're not making it, you're missing out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys in the next video.